I've lost my motivation to exercise. I was never an enthusiast, but I have begun to incorporate light cardio, resistance bands, and bodyweight exercises before these changes. I skipped a few days, and now that's turned into weeks.
So the question is, how do I get motivated to exercise? Do it like it's your job. Not a lot of us are like super excited about going to our jobs every day. Some of us are. Some people really love their jobs. But for those of us who, or maybe you, who don't really love their job, but it's something you have to do exercise like it's your job. And I promise you, after a week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, you're going to want to do it. It provides so many benefits that if you can just force yourself to do it, then you will start to enjoy it. I promise. I have been in this same spot where I was in a good routine, and then all of a sudden something happened in my life where I just stopped for whatever reason, due to injury, scheduling, change in circumstances, and you're just like, oh, I don't have the motivation to get back into this. I don't really care anymore. And ultimately, what it really takes is just overwhelming willpower to just do it. Do it like it's your job.
So how do you actually do that, though? How do you actually get yourself to treat it like a job? And the thing that's critical for me, and that you'll see tons and tons of experts talk about, is it has to be a routine. And the best time to have that routine is first thing in the morning. You get up in the morning, you grumble in your head about how you don't want to exercise, you have your cup of coffee, allow yourself 10 minutes, otherwise 2 hours later you're still nursing that cup of coffee. Believe me, I've been through this the past few weeks myself. And you go down and you exercise before the kids are up and in your space, distracting you, before work starts, and you have to take just a lunch hour to do it. I shifted my whole routine from a lunchtime workout to a first thing in the morning, because otherwise now it doesn't happen. Too many interruptions, too many things going on, too many ways for me to find a way to be busy. So you've got to establish a new normal routine. And that's really the key to success right now with all these changes going on, is establishing that new normal routine. And it's going to be uncomfortable at first, like Jeremy was talking about. It's going to feel foreign. So we had a big conversation, or I did, I guess you were cleaning, this morning with our 2 teenagers, because they're used to going to traditional college classes, and tomorrow they go online. And they're really worried about that because they don't feel like they have the self-discipline or motivation to be successful if they're not having to actually show up in class. And so I had given one of them the Miracle Morning for college students. And there's all kinds of Miracle Mornings. So if you haven't heard of that book, maybe that's one you want to grab. But I had given her that, and she goes, I was really successful when I was following the Miracle Morning framework. And so then they said, oh, okay, so we need new routines. And they both went through all their new syllabuses, and they created a schedule in their planners for themselves with times of day, and they want to use that Miracle Morning. And really what Miracle Morning is specific habits you can have every morning to set yourself up to have a successful day. And what's not there is waking up first thing, having your coffee, and reading the news.
Right.
Because, and every morning that I do that, I'm like, Tara, you shouldn't have started that way. And then it's a big effort to shift yourself into like reframing your mindset for the day.
Yeah.
Because right now what that does, more than any time in our recent future, is it feeds fear and anxiety. And when you start your day that way, it's really hard to recover it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this from a place of like, oh, look at me, I'm perfect. Because I've been struggling with this too, and so has Jeremy.
Yeah. And men in particular are really primed, every day of the month, every morning, to do deep work in the morning. And to work out in the morning is a great way to jumpstart all of that. Endorphins, dopamine, epinephrine, testosterone, all of these chemicals that get released during workouts is just setting you up to have a really great day. So we feel like working out in the morning is one of the best ways to start our day. And, like I said, treat it like it's your job. And eventually you will you'll get into it. You will love it. I promise.
Yeah, because weight loss is not, it's not necessarily a food or exercise problem. It's a hormone balance problem. And exercise is one of the greatest things you can do for your body to help balance your hormones in this specific time period, especially.